and western Scotland will gradually dry up. Now, the Philae probe has made history by sending back the first photos from a comet. One picture shows a rocky surface with one of the lander's 3 feet caught on camera in the foreground. It is now resting in the shadow of a cliff. Well, joining us from our central London studio is the astronaut and adventurer Wimmer. Very good afternoon to you. Now, we've heard from Mission Control that unfortunately it hasn't landed where it should have done. How much of an issue do you think that is?
Well, first of all, it's a fantastic achievement to travel for 10 years as a probe and then finally put the feet down on another comet. So it is a great success so far. However, there are still 2 issues that are the main concerns at the moment. The first one is that the probe did not land where it should. So it is, and the hooks did not go into the comet. So the probe is not so stable just yet, and therefore it's not advisable to do the drilling and really drill into the rock to see what's there. The second problem there still is that when the probe landed, it had 60 hours of battery life. And the idea was then to use solar energy to repower beyond that. But there's not enough solar energy where it is at the moment. Only about an hour and a half of solar energy per a day. So the question is whether that's going to become an issue in the next few days.
So what can scientists on the ground do about where it is? Can they move it so that it might be able to open up its solar panels and get that desperate energy that it needs?
It is possible, theoretically, to move it, but I would consider that as a last option. So I'm sure the scientists will do everything else possible without moving it, because moving a probe so far away is not an easy feat, and it certainly is not without risk. So a lot of other options will be tried before that. But the clock is ticking, like I said, 60 hours of battery life and counting.
No doubt you'll have looked at some of those photos that the probe's taken today. Let's have a look at them and tell us what you can, as a scientist, as an astronaut and adventurer, tell us what you're gleaning from those pictures.
I think they're fantastic pictures. I mean, imagine that it takes 10 years to travel there, and we see pictures of this clarity. Absolutely amazing. I guess also it's the first selfie probe that has ever been taken from that kind of distance. So we're really pushing the boundaries of physics and science here, and ESA has really done an amazing job. But it's great to see. It will clearly have a great interest to the scientific community in terms of understanding how the Earth was created. Because what we really need to understand here is the comet, when comets hit the Earth at one point, how chemistry or water was transferred to the Earth and sort of effectively ignited the biological process. And that will be very interesting to see if we can get any clues here.
And a lot of those clues will come from the probe drilling into the comet. At the moment, it can't do that. So well, hopefully things will change and it will be able to do it. But if not, what data will it be able to record without drilling down?
Oh, there's a lot of data that we can get just as it sits right there in terms of temperature, humidity, etc. So already now there's a huge amount of data being transferred as we speak. And that is very, very valuable in its own right. So even if the mission stops right now, it's been a great success. But it would be very, very interesting to actually drill down, find out what is the chemical composition, etc. That will really help our understanding of how the Earth, as we know it today, was created. So it goes all the way back to the origins of life, if you like. Which is
clearly fascinating and something that scientists want to know, certainly those who study the origins of the Earth. Does it have any benefits for scientists who want to learn about the Earth's future, perhaps?
Well, I think, as with anything, you've got to understand where you're coming from in order to see what's ahead. So understanding where we as humankind and as origins of life on Earth comes from, I think, is tremendously important. But it is also possible, who knows, we might find other metals or something up there. I mean, who knows? That has yet to be seen, what the future might bring. But no doubt we are pushing the boundaries of science here, and therefore it is a terribly exciting project to follow.
Wimmer, fascinating to talk to you. Thank you. And nearly 90,000 people have now signed an online petition calling for a controversial